On the evening of Friday, December 3rd, 1926, famed mystery writer Agatha Christie left her home, got into her Morris Cowley roadster, and disappeared into the night. She was carrying nothing but an attaché case. She kissed her daughter goodnight before speeding away. Days went by. Then a week. Nobody heard from the famed author. Her disappearance sparked a manhunt involving the police, members of the public, and famous figures. And just like today, the story of a famous missing celebrity was lapped up by the tabloid press. Agatha Christie's career was at its height at the end of 1926. Her sixth novel, The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, had been published earlier that year, and her first collection of short stories, featuring the character of Hercule Poirot, had been published 2 years previously. Unfortunately, in real life, there was no Poirot or Miss Marple to find the missing author. The investigation was every bit as interesting as could be imagined by Miss Christie herself. It turned out that her husband, Colonel Archibald Christie, known as Archie, was having an affair with a younger woman. Could this have sparked her disappearance? After all, when a wife goes missing, attention usually turns to the husband. It's always the husband. Earlier the evening of her disappearance, there was an argument between Agatha and Archie. Afterwards, Archie left to spend the weekend with friends. It was soon afterwards that Agatha Christie also left the house. She told no one where she was going. The next day, her car was discovered abandoned above a chalk quarry in Newlands Corner, and some of her clothes were found inside. According to a police report,
the car was found in such a position as to indicate that some unusual proceeding had taken place, the car being found halfway down a grassy slope well off the main road with its bonnet buried in some bushes, as if it had got out of control. In the car was found a fur coat, a dressing case containing various articles of ladies' wearing apparel, and a driving license indicating that the owner was Mrs. Agatha Christie of Sunningdale, Berks.
Many assumed the worst. A police investigation began to find the missing woman. A man who had seen Agatha Christie that night reported that
she was sparsely dressed for such an inclement morning, and she appeared strange in her manner.
The disappearance was widely reported in the newspapers. Concerned members of the public joined the search. Everyone seemed to have their own theory to explain the disappearance. Some suggested she had drowned herself, others that she had been murdered by her husband, and still others claimed the whole thing was nothing more than a publicity stunt to promote her novels. Many prominent figures of the day joined the efforts to find her. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of Sherlock Holmes, even consulted a medium to attempt to solve the mystery of her disappearance. And then, 11 days later on November 14th, a member of the public recognized her staying at a hotel in Harrogate. She had checked in under the name of her husband's mistress, Nancy Neal. She was either suffering memory loss or pretending to, and could give no account of the preceding 11 days or any reasons for her actions. Her biographer, Andrew Norman, argues that she was in a fugue state caused by trauma or depression. However, others still believe that her actions were deliberate and perhaps designed to cause distress and embarrassment to her husband. As for her husband, Archie Christie responded to questions by explaining that she was suffering from a nervous disorder and memory loss. Public concern turned to frustration and even anger. Many thought that police response had been excessive and that time and money had been wasted searching for her. There was the mistaken notion that airplanes, divers, and multiple police forces had been utilized in the search. Deputy Chief Constable William Kenwood responded that press reports had exaggerated the actual police response. He said,
"The number of police said to have been engaged has been greatly exaggerated, and I received invaluable assistance from the public generally. The aeroplanes which are said to have taken part in the search are nothing to do with the police. There is no doubt that a good deal of press matter circulated in connection with the case was without foundation.
In other words, it was fake news. He also explained why the actions they did take were justified by the potential danger that the missing woman could have faced following her disappearance.
The lady disappeared under circumstances which opened out all sorts of possibilities. She might have been wandering with loss of memory over that vast open country around Newlands Corner, or she might have fallen down one of the numerous gravel pits that abound there and are covered in most instances with undergrowth and lying helpless in agony, or she might have been, as was strongly suggested to the police, the victim of a serious crime. Under no circumstances could the police of this district have justified any inaction in the matter.
The sudden disappearance of Agatha Christie gave the British public a real-life taste of the kind of mystery she had shared with them in her stories. And this probably explains why the incident caught the imagination of so many at the time. What do you think happened during those 11 days? Why was her car found abandoned? Leave your comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you here next time on A Look Back.